Good morning, my YouTube viewers. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to go over some practice problems with the normal distribution, which in previous videos we have covered the normal distribution, but now we're going to go through practice problems using the normal distribution. And the first practice problem that we're going to talk about is going to be about loaves of bread. So, the question is, 85 loaves of bread are discarded daily because of a defect. Standard deviation of the number of loaves is 9. Predict the probability that less than 70 loaves of bread will be discarded because of a defect. So we're going to write a program in Python to answer this question, and then we're going to import a library in order to execute the program. We're going to import scipy.stats as stats. Scipy is Python's scientific library. Stats is a statistical module within Scipy. And stats is what we're calling this library with the module. So we're going to define our parameters. So mean equals 85. And that's to do with 85 loaves of bread. Just saying. Standard deviation is 9. And x is 70. Less than 70. X is 70. So now we're going to calculate our z-score. And in previous videos, we were talking about the z-score, the z-statistic, and sometimes a normal distribution is called a z-distribution. And so z is like your z-statistic. So z equals x minus mean, that's 70 minus 85. Divided by standard deviation. So that's going to be 70 minus 85, which is negative 15 divided by 9. So negative 15 divided by 9 is going to be close to 2, 1 point something. And now we're going to calculate the probability using the cumulative distribution function. And the cumulative distribution function is another statistical measure. So probability equals stats.norm. Norm means normal distribution. .cdf. CDF means cumulative distribution function of z. And z is your z-score. So we're going to display the result. So we're going to print the z-score and the probability that less than 70 loaves of bread will be discarded. So the answer to that, your z-score is negative 1.67, and your probability that less than 70 loaves of bread will be discarded is 0.0478. So that's a very low probability. And the reason why that is because they normally discard about 85 loaves of bread. And so 70 is 15 less than 85. So that's very low probability. So we're going to have another question. What is the probability that the number of defective loaves is in excess of 95? And that's to do with your survival function. And survival function is another concept in statistics. So we're going to import scipy.stats as stats. Your mean is 85. And that's your loaves of bread. Standard deviation is 9, and x is 95, and that's going to be your survival function. Okay, so we're going to calculate the z-score. Z equals x minus mean, so that's 95 minus 85, so that's 10 divided by your standard deviation of 9. So 10 divided by 9 is going to be set over 1, like maybe 1.1 or something like that. And then we're going to calculate the probability using the complement rule. So probability equals 1 minus stats dot norm CDF. That's cumulative distribution function Z. And then so we're going to display the z-score and the probability. So the probability, the z-score is 1.11 and the probability is 0.13. But when I want to try something, I just want to see what the value is. Okay. So the survival function probability is 0.13326. Sorry, I had a phone call. I had to not answer it because I'm in the middle of making a video. So that's what you heard. But you can see here the point that I'm trying to prove is that the 1 minus CDF is the same as the survival function. So really what you're doing is the survival function. So you can say either 1 minus stats.norm.cdfz, or you can say stats.norm SFZ. And it will give you the same result, which is what I wanted to show. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we've got another question that we're going to go over. Is what is the probability that the number of defective loaves is in excess of 95? And that is exactly what I just did. I just did it with the survival function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. And the reason why is because it's not necessary. I did it in the previous question. And now we have what is the probability that the number of defective loaves is between 75 and 80. And again, we're going to import scipy.stats as stats. And then we're going to set up our parameters. So mean equals 85, number of defective loaves, standard deviation is 9, x1 is 75, that's your lower bound, and x2 is 80, that's your upper bound. So we're going to set up our z-scores for z1 and z2. So z1 equals 75 minus 85, which is -10. divided by standard deviation. So it's going to be negative 1.1. And then Z2 is going to be 80 minus 85, which is negative 5 over 9, which is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of negative 0.5 or 1 half. So we're going to calculate the probabilities using the cumulative distribution function. Probability x1 equals stats norm dot CDF z1, and probability x2 equals stats norm dot CDF z2. Okay, so probability that x is between 75 and 80, probability equals probability x2 minus probability dot x1. So we're going to display the results. We're going to display the results for z-score for x1, z-score for x2, and probability that the number of defective loaves is between x1 and x2. So z-score for x1 is negative 1.11. Z-score for x2 is negative 0.56. Probability that the number of defective loaves is between 75 and 80, which is 0.1560. So that's how you solve that problem. And you solve these problems using a normal distribution. So that concludes our practice problems for the normal distribution for the loaves of bread. And the next video, we're going to cover another practice problem for loaves of bread, for normal distribution. And I hope you decide to watch it.